Okay, are you guys able to see my screen? Okay, so this second part of the sharing, mainly I will share a very short sharing on one of the book that recently read by myself. So this book is actually introduced by our Diamond. So during the Chinese New Year, our Diamond, Mr. and Mrs. Yao actually passed this book to me, okay, for reading. So I find this book is very helpful and a lot of insight inside. So I already done reading this book, very fast and easy to read because it's very thin only, and then the content is very straightforward. I highly recommend you guys to go and have a read. If let's say you just want to have a leisure reading, don't want to be too heavy one, this is a great book because like I said, very few pages only, and the message is simple and clear. So I will also summarize some of my findings and my learning from this book to you. But of course, if you read yourself, you might find other findings and other perspective, which is different. That is the fun thing about reading. But this is from my own perspective. Feel free to read yourself and you might get more input from there. Okay, so Who Moved My Cheese? This is a book that I have heard a long time, but I didn't really have the chance to read on it, okay, until this Chinese New Year. So I managed to finish it. So I just want to ask you, I'm not sure how many of you already read this book in the call now. So if those who already read it, you can type 111. Who have not read this book before, you can type 222. Okay, so for myself, when I ask myself, my thought before I read this book, just by looking at the title, Who Moved My Cheese? Okay, last time I always have this thinking before I really read the book. I thought this book talk about identifying our competitors and how to excel from there. I'm not sure whether you have the same feeling, but I got this feeling okay, when I imagine who moved my cheese, I imagine like in the market, you're doing business, then suddenly you find out your profit is not there already. So that means got competitor come and steal your ideas or whatsoever. So I got this kind of feeling the book will talk about this thing. And then second, I thought the book will talk about understanding the world trend. So when we say who moved my cheese, another thing that I'll think of is like, oh, suddenly your cheese is not there. Definitely is because the trend changed already in this world. Okay, is it the book talk about this? Not really also. Okay, so number three, I'll also think that this book will teach us how to stay competitive, okay, in this changing world. So people that always didn't notice their cheese has been taken by other people, I will think of, oh, maybe they are not competitive. So this book will teach us how to stay competitive. But after I read this book, only I realized it's none of all this. Okay, this book didn't talk about any of all this. It's very straightforward thing. Okay, in fact, the things that the book talk about, the one person that actually take away our cheese is ourselves. Okay, it's our old thinking, is our resistance to change that actually take the cheese away. Okay, so this is the reason why I find this book is very interesting, because it's totally different from what I expect at first. So I hope you will also enjoy the book. So basically, I will not go through the entire synopsis of the book, but I just want to share some of the highlight. At least you get a little bit of understanding what this book talk about. So this one I get from the internet, a great summary of the characteristic that we have inside the book. A very simple story, two mouse and also two human. But these two human is same size as the mouse one, okay, in this story. So you just imagine it's like a cartoon. They are same size like the mouse inside the maze. So these four characters, basically, they are inside the maze. They're trying to search for the cheese that will actually last them for life. Okay, so what happened is that these four characters have a very different characteristic. Okay, the story itself didn't touch a lot on Sniff and also Scurry. These two, Sniff and Scurry, they are mouse basically. So, but we know that Sniff actually anticipate change early. Okay, it always sniff something change, so you adapt to it very quickly. So Scurry is the one that actually will also action very quick. He likes to get things done. Okay, but Sniff is the one that lead first, and then Scurry will follow in a very fast manner. Okay, and then for the human, there are actually two human. Actually, in the story, it talk a little bit more on. The story is about these two human more. Okay, Scurry is and also Sniff not that much. Okay, they just appear a while, and then after that, in the ending, appear again. Okay, but entire process inside the maze is more talking about these two human beings. Okay, so these two human beings, the hall is actually, I would say, a more moderate version, a more average version of people that we will meet in real life. Okay, people who at first resistant or hesitant when there's a change, but then slowly they'll open up their mind and then start to learn something new. But the sad thing is that we also have a lot of people like Ham. So Ham is the one that the story actually focus a lot on, and a lot of us, we might be having the character like Ham, but we didn't know about it. So Ham is the person that actually will deny change and resist it out of fear. Okay, he just want to work in one place, safe, no change is better. So they'll always question back when people ask them, ask him to change. So I also summarize what I really feel the character of this Ham. Okay, basically, he is a pessimistic. He is also a resistant person. He is also a fixed mindset. Okay, so I mean, we know about the difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset, right? So fixed mindset is something that best describe Ham in this story. Okay, so this is just roughly about the story. So I want to highlight some of the key points that I learned from this book. So at first, in the beginning of the story, actually, four of them discover this station C. Okay, this station C is inside the maze. A lot, there's a big cheese and a lot of cheese there. Okay, so the moment they discover it, okay, the Ham and Hall actually feel that they can actually, the cheese here can last them forever already. Okay, but in the book, I think there are a few points that I feel like sharing. In the book, it says they have no idea where the cheese come from or who put it there. So it's just a simple sentence, but when I read this, I feel that it can actually reflect a lot of people's life nowadays. Okay, they don't know what is actually supporting their life. Okay, they just feel that, oh, got the income, got the salary, okay already. Okay, you don't have a deeper thought into that. Okay, will it stop one day or will it gone one day? Okay, they just assume it will be there. Okay, this one I take directly from the book. It's not myself, not my sentence. So lastly, only if I ask you who will say this sentence, you can also guess it already. There's enough cheese here to last us forever. Okay, so this is actually mentioned by this character, Ham. Okay, so like I said, Ham is very into the comfort zone one. So this piece of cheese in the station C, he said can last forever. So this is, I mean, if we reflect back to our real life, often it's also happened to us. When we are doing something, we thought that this is something that we can actually last for life, but actually it's not. If let's say we didn't realize that things is keep changing in our life. Okay, so these are also some of the my favorite quotes and also their dialogue inside the story, more relating to the comfort zone. So I like it here. It's comfortable. It's what I know. Besides, it's dangerous out there. So this is, I think you can also guess already. All this is being said out by Ham. Okay, so you can start to explore Ham mindset from here. I like it here. It's comfortable. Okay, this is their conversation when Hall start to discover, hey, the cheese is like getting less and less in station C, but Ham is like already inside that blind spot of comfort zone. He just keep assuring itself that it's very comfortable here. Okay, there are so many uncertainties out there. If we go back into the maze, it's not necessary we'll find another cheese station. So he also mentioned, I'm getting too old for that. Okay, I don't want to go to adventure anymore. And then third, I'm afraid I'm not interested in getting lost and making a fool of myself. Are you? So he asked back to Hall. So just now when we study his character, he is the person who will actually throw back the question to others. Okay, you see some of the key character that you can see here. Comfort, okay, always give excuse. So the common excuse is that too old, okay, not fit enough for that, okay, or not enough time for that. So these are common excuses that we also see whenever we want to introduce certain opportunity to people around us, right? So number three, afraid, not interested in getting lost. Okay, you don't want to risk anymore. So the other things that I also learned from their conversation is we keep doing same thing over again and wonder why things don't get better. If it wasn't so ridiculous, it would be even funnier. So this is actually from Hall. Okay, Hall finally want to challenge back Ham. He said, we every day, okay, I mean, at this stage of point when he say this out, the cheese in the station C already finished. But they are still like every day go back to station cheese C, expecting the cheese is still there. So Hall start to question. We every day also come back to here, also no new cheese appear, still an empty station. Are we still continue to do this? So I think it's a good reflection to if we think back to our real life, are we doing that? Okay, it might not be exactly same, but if you think deeper, sometimes we are like doing the same thing, expecting next year have promotion, next year have a better increment, but it didn't come, and then we just keep repeating doing. So I think adapting change is very important. Okay, so this is another point. When it seems that he had been into the maze forever, his journey, or at least this part of his journey, ended quickly and happily. So this is a sentence I taken from the point where both of them, not both of them, I think Hall is the one who want to start to move up and also start searching the new cheese station. So at first he's very reluctant, and then he also feel very scared because Ham don't want to follow along. But after a while, after he's in the maze for a time, he actually feel that he start to adapt to the maze already. And then he feel that his journey is no longer a scary one. In fact, he are able to track and also run around the maze even quicker and in a happily mode. So I think this sentence I also learned a lot, because a lot of time we feel the worry, we feel the depression when we are not stepping into that change. We just feel there's a lot of uncertainty, but the moment we embark into that change, right, we already like enjoy the journey. Okay, just like whoever like take the opportunity to start something new, whenever they are really serious and focused into that, they will really start to catch up quick, and also they will be happy. Okay, the previous concern and also worried no longer there. So he realized fastest way to change is actually to laugh at your own folly. Then you can let go and quickly move on. So this is also from Hall. Hall have this realization when he actually running in the maze alone before Ham actually joined him subsequently in the later part. So he realized that actually in life, right, the faster way for us to actually embark a change is that we have to learn how to laugh at ourselves certain times. So in order to laugh at ourselves, we need to have a good mirror. So to have a good mirror in life, I think in Amway and in our system, we also teach about consulting our mentor, consulting our active upline. So these are they actually act as our mirror. Doesn't mean that they are better or more more knowledge than us, but actually they are acting like a mirror, right? They let us know when is the time to actually laugh at ourselves when we do something wrong, how to actually move on, how to actually change our goal setting and so on. Okay, so the other thing that I also learned from this book is that these two phrases. First, they keep life simple. They didn't over analyze or overcomplicate things. When the situation changed and the cheese has been moved, they change and move with the cheese. Okay, so this is the learning when finally they found a new cheese station, and then they realized that the scurvy and also sniffy is already there. The two mouse is already there. Okay, because they are the one who actually left station C before the cheese finish, because they know the change is coming already. But that two human is actually the one that keep lingering in the station C. So the moment they reach that station, one of the learning that they get from these two mouses is that they keep life very simple. They don't overanalyze or overcomplicate things. Just like us, a lot of time the things already not there, or the things that we want to chase is already not really able to visualize and not able to realize it already. But we are still try to analyze, is it because of this, because of that? Okay, so we need to adapt to the change. Take the change as simple as it is. So the second phrase, the biggest inhibitor to change actually lies within ourselves. Okay, and that nothing gets better until we change. So like at the beginning of this sharing, I said this book I thought is about talking about the competitor, how we want to actually excel when there's a competition or what. But actually no, this book tells us that the biggest of things that we need to overcome is ourselves, because we are the one that actually restrain ourselves and stop ourselves from that change. So today we don't talk about competitor or trend first. Even if we have a very great competitor or a big trend change, if let's say we ourselves, our mindset stuck here, doesn't matter. Even a small competitor can actually beat us also. So I also sharing some of the photo I taken from this book, the small quotes that I feel meaningful. So first one, if you do not change, you can become extinct. Okay, what would you do if you aren't afraid? I think this is so powerful, the second quotes. So a lot of time we should ask ourselves, for example, okay, if I think back last time when I want to show plan to other people, or show plan to a stranger, or show plan to a newly known friend, I will feel very frightened. I will feel very scared. Okay, but if I think about this quote, what will I do if let's say I'm not afraid? So this actually gives us to think back what actually make us frightened. So a lot of time is only our own mindset, our own concern. Okay, it's not the scared and also the frightened is not from the other side. Okay, that person also don't even know you want to show him plan. So I think whenever moving forward in our life, whenever we feel something afraid, just ask ourselves this: what will you do if you are not afraid? Okay, so number 3, smell the cheese often so you know when it's getting old. So this one, I think this quote is in the chapter whereby they start to realize the cheese is getting less and less. So in life also, we need to sniff like our surrounding like cheese. So we need to detect that changes. Okay, then only we can react before it happens. So movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. Okay, so staying at the same spot definitely will go nowhere, but only with the new movement you can find new cheese. That is what this story trying to say. So of course you might say outside the maze there might not be any other cheese, but we know that for sure in station C there's no more cheese. So in our life, same thing. If we know already here confirm no output, or it will not give you things that you want to chase for, like freedom, travel around the world, then source elsewhere, even though it might fail, but at least it's not sticking to something that definite fail. Okay, and then number 5, when you move beyond your fear, you feel free. Okay, so I think this also, there's a lot of book that I have read previously that help to actually enlighten this part, whereby things that hold us back is our fear. So whenever we move beyond our fear, you feel free, and then you can do very freely whatever you want to do. And then you can also take the prospect contact, or when I talk about Amway business context, you can take prospect contact, you can get to know new friends very easily because you already moved beyond your fear. Okay, so last but not least, before I end my sharing, also taken from this book, this one, but I found it online. Okay, what you are afraid of is never as bad as what you imagine. Okay, the fear you let build up in your mind is worse than the situation that actually exists. Okay, so always give ourselves this reminder. Doesn't matter is Amway business, your work, or your life. Okay, whenever you encounter a challenge or an obstacle, always tell ourselves that the real situation, it might not be as worse or as bad as that. So we just need to move along with that change, and then enjoy. And also, like just now, the Hall, when he move into the maze, he can actually move quick, and actually he realizes it's a happy journey. Okay, so with that,